Hello and welcome to the results show, where I'm going to be bringing you the results from the last 2 weeks from Cambusole Golf Course. Okay, so we're going to kick off on Tuesday the 17th. There was no society game because we had our monthly competition, which was also the occasion of the new captain's drive-in. I'm happy to say, and he's happier than I am, that he did manage to get his first drive away, and it landed on the green, on the fairway, beg your pardon. The winner closest to the predicted drive was Gary Greenfield, and donation was made of €60 to Age Concern. So well done, Hebby. On the day, we had two divisions. Winning Division A with 38 points, Gary Davis. Second with 36 points, Dave Hackett. In third with 35 points, Paco Belchi. And in fourth with 34 points, Thomas McQuilter. In Division B, first place Henriette Breckveg with 32 points, and second place Packy Martinez with 31 points. Nearest the pins on hole 3, Steve Carter and Ron Porter. On hole 5, Gary Lovejoy. Hole 11, Gary Lovejoy again and Annette Nielsen. On hole 13, Ray Lyons and Hayley Barker. And hole 8 in 2, Pete Constable. And hole 9 in 3, Ron Porter. So, yeah, that was the first main competition of the year. Our next club to golf is going to be on March the 18th, but more news of that at the end of the results show. OK, so the first society game was the Wednesday Golf Association. They played a Texas Scramble. In first place with 65.3, Norman Morgan, Andy Wakefield and Eugene Toy. In second place with 66.7, Dave Hackett, Martin Lewis and Steve Adams. And in third place with 68.1, Dennis Jones, Brian Perkis and Colin Jordan. Thursday Friendly Golf Society played a 2 to score on a par 3, 3 on a par 4 and 4 on a par 5. In first place with 117, Jay Roberts, Ian Richardson, Ian Pragnell and Lee Wells. In second with 116, Camille Vertonghen, Rob Allen and Glenn Elliott. In third place with 104, Jim Hall, Les Skipsey, Keith Humphreys and Paul Weeks. And in fourth place with 102, Colin Reid, Jeff Doyle, Lol Bridges and Martin Wilkins. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Spencer Truman. On hole 5, Camille Vertonghen. Hole 11, Lee Wells. And hole 13, Spencer Truman. Friday Friendly Golf Society just played 9 holes. They played a Pinehurst with 2 scores to count. In first place, it was commandeered by the Langleys, Irene Langley, Bernie Langley, Simon Langley and Annie Bush. OK, so move on to Saturday, the 21st of February. The Clubhouse Golf Society played a Pinehurst with 2 to score on par 4s and par 5s and 3 to score on par 3s. In first place, Gary Davis, Pete Constable, Alan Hebby and Ernie Milford. In second place, Charlie Miller, Walt Island, Alistair Ray and Chris Bye. And in third place, Martin Geary, Jimmy Butt, Finn Nielsen and Ernie Milford. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Ian Pragnell. Nearest the pin, hole 5, Alistair Ray. On hole 11, Martin Geary. Hole 13, Finn Nielsen. And hole 8 in 2, Chris Bye. Saturday, 21st, they were followed by Catsbar. They played a waltz, 1-2-3 on the front 9 and 3-2-1 on the back 9. In first place with 90 points, Kieran McGibney, Martin Lewis, Norman Morgan. In second place with 77 points, quite a big difference there, Sean Johnston, Eugene Toy, Dave Griffiths and Steve Carter. Closely following them behind on 76 points, Stella Steve, Colin Jordan and Rab Young. And in fourth place with 57, quite a way behind, Lee Friott, Bill Donald and Lord Hackett. Nearest the pin on hole 5, Bill Donald. And nearest the pin on hole 11, Norman Morgan. And there were 2 twos, Martin Lewis and Bill Donald. So well done to you. OK, so moving on to Sunday, the 22nd of February. Dixie's Golf Society played an individual Stableford game. In first place, here he comes again, Stella Steve with 39 points. In second place, John Keane, also with 39 points. And in third place, with 31 points, Don Senior. And there was just 1-2, John Keane on hole 3. Sunshine Golf Society played a high-low, so highest and lowest scores to count. In first place with 89 points, Dennis Jones, Bob Lawrenson, Ron Porter and Hayley Barker. And in second place with 86 points, Paco Belchi, Ray Lyons, Barry Goodman and Carolyn Harrison. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Paco Belchi. On hole 5, Ron Porter. Hole 11, and somebody new playing with Sunshine, Aaron Spence. On hole 13, Gary Lovejoy. Hole 8 in 2, Ray Lyons. And hole 9 in 3, Ron Porter. OK, so moving on to the next week, Las Gaviotas played a 1-2-3, 3-2-1 all the way round. In first place, fantastic 93 points, Carolyn Harrison, Alison Vasey, Annie Bush and Mo Fentiman. And the nearest the pins on hole 3 was Susan Lyons, on hole 5, on hole 11 and on hole 13, Alison Vasey. Well done, Alison. And a quick mention to Mo Fentiman. Fantastic eagle on 2, in and 2 on the 8th. So well done, Mo, brilliant. And another 2 for Mary on hole 3. OK, they were followed by Sprightly Golf Society, who played 3 to score on the front 9 and 2 to score on the back 9. First place with 114, Brian Arnold, Keith Sadler, Harry Pearson and Dave Mitchell. In second with 109, Martin Geary, Phil Houghton, Martin Wilkins and Colin Reid. In third place with 108, Dave Mitchell, Glenn Elliott, Gary Davis and Ernie Milford. And in fourth place with 104, Dave Spooner, Dave Mitchell, Ian Pragnell and Spencer Truman. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Colin Reid. Nearest on hole 5, Glenn Trigg. On hole 11, Ernie Milford. Hole 13, Alistair Ray and hole 8 in 2, Martin Geary. Wednesday Golf Association, they played a 2 to count on par 4, 3 to count on par 5 and 4 to count on par 3. With 109 points in first place, Kieran McGibney, Dave Hackett, Luke Sharp and John Keane. In second with 107, Martin Lewis, Steve Adams, Trev Andrew and Ken Halley. And in third with 106, Norman Morgan, Bob Lawrenson, Pete Carter and Marius Bruisers. There were 4 twos winners. Norman Morgan got 2, Martin Lewis, Colin Jordan and Luke Sharp. A couple of notable scores to mention. Norman Morgan ended up with 43 points, fantastic. Kieran McGibney with 40 and John Keane with 41. Thursday friendly, Golf Society, they played a Texas Scramble. The team in first place with a net 57.6, Martin Wilkins, Alan Hebby and Ernie Milford. In second with 61.1, Paul Weeks, Pete Constable, Bill Tiley and Lee Wells. And in third with 64.2, Bob Evans, Jeff Doyle, Jay Roberts and Harry Pearson. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Martin Wilkins. On hole 5, Gary Greenfield. Hole 11, Paul Weeks and hole 13, Keith Sadler. Friday friendly, again, they just played 9 holes. They played something called a 2-shot shambles. I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure I'll be told at some point. Anyway, the winners were in first place with 60 points, which again, I'm told is a very good score. Verona, Mags Ray, Mary Armitage and Margaret. Clubhouse Golf Society, Saturday, the 28th of February, played a Texas Scramble. In first, with 59.2 net, Jimmy Butt, Phil Houghton, Alan Hebby and Irene Langley. In second, with 60.2, Finn Nielsen, Morton, Bernard de Grave and Alan Harris. And in third place with 63.3, Alistair Ray, Mick Drummond, Annette Nielsen and Margaret. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Alistair Ray. On hole 5, Ernie Milford. Hole 11, Finn Nielsen, and hole 13, Alison Vasey. Nearest the ditch, without going over, on hole 2, Annette Nielsen. And Caps Bar, also on Saturday, played red, white and blue with 3 to score. In first place with 126 points, Baz Elmore, Norman Morgan, Bill Donald and Lee Friott. In second with 122, Lord Hackett, John Leyland, Martin Lewis and Dave Griffiths. And in third with 109, Colin Jordan, Rab Young, Kieran McGibney and Marius Bruisers. And here cometh the Norman Morgan show. On hole 3, nearest the pin, Norman Morgan. On hole 13, nearest the pin, Norman Morgan. And 2 twos, both for Norman Morgan. Well done, Norman. So we move on to Sunday, the 1st of March. Dix's Golf Society played an individual Stableford game. In first place with 40 points was John Keane. In second, moving up the ranks, Lowell Bridges. And in third, Paul Ryder. So we conclude with Sunshine Golf Society, also on the 1st of March, played their monthly World Handicap qualifier. So 2 divisions. In Division A, winning with 40 points, Gary Lovejoy. In second with 33, Dennis Jones. And in third with 30 points, Mark Palmer. In Division B, in first with 40 points, Henriette Reckbeg. In second place, also on 40 points but on countback, was Alison Vasey. And in third place with 35 points, Denise Brown. Nearest the pin on hole 3, Paco Belchi. On hole 5, Dennis Jones. Hole 11, Ina Ellingsether. Hole 13, Dennis Jones. Hole 8 in 2, Gary Lovejoy. And hole 9 in 3, Ron Porter. And there were just 1 twos winner getting 2 twos, Dennis Jones. Okay, so that's the results from the last 2 weeks. Thank you to all the society captains for sending the results in. Remember to let us know if there's anything significant happening within your society, and we'll be sure to give it a mention. Okay, thanks for watching. So, moving on, we're moving on to a very topical subject, and to discuss this topic with me in the studio is Rob Greatley.
Hi, Hayley.
Hi.
Hi, everybody watching. Great to be back.
Okay.
And what's the subject we are discussing?
Okay, we are going to discuss today the subject of slow play, which I know is something that's very close to people's hearts. It's very topical at the moment. So we thought we'd just delve a little bit into the reasons behind slow play and, more importantly, the solutions that we can find to resolve it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, let's kick off with tee times. You know, fairly recently, tee times have moved from 10 minutes to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So what does that actually mean? It doesn't mean that you've got 8 minutes to do each hole.
No, basically the 8 minutes or 10 minutes, as it used to be, is basically the distance between each group. So you should be we're 8 minutes now, so let's talk about 8 minutes. So every group should be 8 minutes behind the group in front, and it should remain fairly constant throughout the whole round.
Yeah.
Can I just first say actually that because there's always a lot of blame on this sort of thing. I don't believe that anybody goes out. I'm sure that nobody goes out deliberately to play slowly. But once you get on the golf course, you think about different things, and you know, so it just happens.
Yeah.
But as we're saying, there's things that everybody can do, even a little bit, that will probably resolve a lot of the problems.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So in an ideal world, we should be looking at 2 hours.
Well, at Cambersole specifically,
the
back nine, for whatever seems to play longer, seems to take longer than the front nine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've worked it out. I mean, I've been playing here like 5 years. So, I mean, I've worked out it should be roughly 2 hours, 5 minutes for the front nine, 2 hours, 15 for the back nine, 4 hours, 20 overall.
4 hours, 20, yeah.
So, I mean, from working out per hole, par 3's 12 minutes, par 4's 15 minutes, par 5's 18 minutes. So that works out roughly 4 hours, 20.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, by the way, that's for 4 players.
That's for 4 players, yeah. So just moving specifically onto slow play, I mean, just delve into a little bit about the problems that are caused. What causes the problem with slow play?
Yeah.
Just identify the issues that.
Okay. Well, you should start from the beginning, really. The first is your tee time. If your tee time's 9:06, you should be there 10 minutes before, so that you're ready to play at 9:06.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you lose 5 minutes at the first hole, then you've lost 5 minutes. You've then got to catch 5 minutes up. The best way to avoid that is to be ready to play at your tee time. Yeah. So that's a simple fix. Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's simple enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Be there, ready to play at your tee time, and you know you're not behind before you start. Okay. That's the first thing.
That's the first thing. Okay. And moving on.
Well, I mean, we've all heard of ready golf.
Yeah.
But ready golf was actually brought in by the RNA and the USGA specifically for slow play, just to stop slow play. But a lot of people think that ready golf is only for the tees. You know, for when you tee off, you don't have to worry about the honour. You just get there. Whoever's ready to play plays. But that should apply to every single shot, every single shot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people I see, okay, there's balls like within 10 yards of each other, and people will start, they'll wait for one person to play, then the next person goes to walk to their ball.
It's not necessary.
No, you should just walk to your own ball. I mean, if you're 40 yards down the fairway, then obviously you're not going to walk to your ball because
because you've got a danger element involved. Yeah. And a lot of players don't like people standing in front of them when they're playing the ball, and and that's fair enough. But yeah, if you're in roughly the same place on the fairway and somebody's in a buggy and they're just sorting their club out or whatever, and you're there, just play your ball.
Yeah, walk to your own ball, and if you're ready to play and you're not interfering with anybody else who's just play your ball.
Just play it, and then if you have to walk back. So that you're not in the way for them playing their ball, then so be it.
That's fair enough.
But
that'll speed up play quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing I would say, just if you just go back to the tees.
Yeah.
If you're in a group, okay, so let's say we're standing on the tee. We're in a group of you and me, a group of others, and the group in front is 200 yards ahead. Right now, I can't drive because I know that I'm 200 yards. I'm going to drive back 200 yards. Yeah. I've played with you a lot. You're probably 160 yards.
Ignore that. Carry on.
So I'm on speed dial. So there's no reason, even if I'm playing off the whites, you're playing off the reds, there's no reason why you can't play first. So you go and play your ball, stand to one side, then the group in front moves off, then I can play. It's the same with all the other people. So you've got to try and be sensible about what you're doing. No point in waiting around for me to play when you could play. That's a great fix.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would speed up your group a lot.
Oh, massively, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I've noticed as well, it seems to be like the buggies. Yeah. People always think, the buggies are going to be quick, but they're not.
No.
Very often the buggies, they seem to be doing a lot more walking because there are only certain places they can go. So, they're sort of having to park up and then get the clubs and go to the ball, and then they might get to the ball and think, I've got the wrong club. And, that seems to slow things down an awful lot.
Yeah, one of the main reasons actually why I don't really like playing in buggies because, I'm one of these people, I like to walk to my ball, see how the distance is, grab my club,
I'm the same. Go. Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
So, and buggies can be quite slow, but you can still take measures when you're in a pair. I mean, if one of you is one side of the fairway, the other side of the fairway, maybe 10 yards, then, drive to the first ball, let the player take his club.
Yeah.
Drive off. Yeah. The other player drive off to wait with your ball. If the player you dropped off maybe is not great at walking, then once you finish playing your shot over there, turn around, pick him up. Yeah. Save a lot of time that way.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, we don't really need people waiting around in buggies for people to play their shot when they could be going over to their own ball. Yeah. So it's all
little things like
that. It's all easy fixes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another thing as well which I've noticed is judging your own ability as to where your ball's going to land. So if you're behind a group in front, for instance, on the 7th is a classic example, and if somebody's on the green, but that chances are your ball, you clear the water, it's not going to be anywhere near the green. No. So you're not putting anybody in danger.
Nope.
Just play your ball.
Absolutely. If your ball lands 30 yards from the green when people are on the green, there's no problem with that.
It's no problem.
No problem with that at all.
And even if, on a very good day, it did actually get somewhere close to the green, you're not going to cause anybody any danger because by the time it's got there, it's going to be just trickling along. So,
and you can always go up to the next, you'll see the next group on the next tee and just, sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot, tends to be a lot of waiting around when you don't need to wait.
Yeah.
And what I was just talking about people being distances and who plays first and who plays, the same applies when you're on the fairway. If they're 200 yards away and you can only score, then the person who's going to play shortest, just go first.
Just go first.
Yeah. Even if they're a little bit further down the fairway, just. Yeah.
And similarly, when you're actually on the green. There is like this sort of mentality that you have to the person who's furthest away. I know in match play, there are certain rules and you have to abide by those
totally
rules.
Different thing, yeah.
But when you're just playing a general game, or a competition, just if you're ready to go
Yeah.
Somebody's gone off to get their putter out of their buggy or whatever. Just play your ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, once you've holed out, that's it. You're done. You're one step ahead, waiting to get onto
absolutely,
the next.
Yeah. We just
tee.
need to. We don't want anybody to rush. That's not what we're. That's not really what we're asking. But what we want people is to be sensible and realise that you need to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
Because you don't want. You've got to be aware of the people behind you.
Yeah.
You don't want people behind you waiting.
Yeah.
It frustrates everybody.
It frustrates everybody. It frustrates you because you're aware that people are waiting.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so that in itself puts you off because you're just conscious of we need to move this on, and so you end up rushing, and
100%.
and then you get frustrated by maybe some players who are not quite as
Correct.
aware of what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, just we're having this discussion, we're talking to everybody. We're not trying to get people to rush, but we're trying to get people to just be sensible, be aware that you're not holding people up behind you.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all. And then there's the other thing about letting groups through. I know sometimes it's difficult if you're playing in a society and there's maybe 4 or 5 different groups. The tendency is not to allow people through because you end up interfering with the actual society game, don't you? But
yeah, although I haven't said that. If it's early enough in the round and you've got a 2 ball behind you, if you let them through and then hopefully they'll get through to the next group and the next group, you'll be back.
You'll be back where you started anyway. Yeah, and they've gone and they're off.
Yeah. So I think, in general, I think if you're able to let, you can do it in a smooth way.
Yeah.
Even by, you all tee off, the 2 ball comes up, you let them tee off, all walk down together, let them play their shot. It's pretty seamless, really.
Yeah.
If you're sensible about doing that.
Yeah.
So
So just to summarise then, basically, I mean, most of the stuff we've talked about, it's just common sense and don't wait.
So. Yeah.
Just
don't. I mean, don't rush. We're not asking people to rush, but be ready to play, and just be aware of.
Just be aware of
everybody
around you, the groups in front, the groups behind, and what everybody else is doing with their ball.
Yeah.
And if you can play your ball, just play it.
There's one thing we haven't discussed actually, which is probably the largest cause, and that's looking for lost balls.
Oh yes, wonder where we're going to come onto that one.
I mean, the rule is that you are allowed 3 minutes to look for your ball. If you haven't found your ball once the 3 minutes is up, then even if you find your ball after another 30 seconds, you can't play your ball. So once 3 minutes is up, then you have to take either the penalty or if it's a lost ball, whatever penalty. But golf is one of those games where we don't have a referee. So you have to. We all have to do it ourselves.
Well, we should. With the marshal to a degree, we should.
But when you're playing a competition
things.
or whatever, you're not going to have a referee around who's going to come along and say, we have to referee ourselves, and you've got to be aware of other people playing, and you've got 3 minutes to look for your ball. If you can't find it in 3 minutes, it's not ideal. We'll all get frustrated about it, but it's the rules. So, just be a little bit disciplined with yourself.
Yeah.
I can't find my ball in 3 minutes. Got to take penalty. Then we move on.
Yeah, and also looking for other balls.
Well,
Because
you basically shouldn't do it.
No, I know you shouldn't, but I've seen it. There's a tendency, if for instance which is another thing, picking your ball up when you're out of shots. We'll come on to it. But when you are out of shots, I've seen people do it. They'll go off and just have a little hunt round in the undergrowth looking for other balls. And you might think, well, it's okay because everybody else is still playing, but it's not. You shouldn't be doing it.
No, that's the sort of thing you should do in your own time.
Yeah.
So if you want to look for balls on the golf course, I suggest you go out and have a round on your own.
Yeah.
And take as much time as you want, as long as you're not interfering with anybody else.
Yeah.
But certainly when you're playing competitions, you should not be looking. No. You should not be looking for balls that have been lost.
Yeah.
Goodness knows when.
And just going back to what I just mentioned there about picking up if you're playing a Stableford game and you're out of shots and you can't score, please just pick up, because people spend so much time, it's a personal vendetta that I need to get over the water or I need to, crack this hole.
The whole idea of Stableford is that you can pick up.
Yeah.
That it won't affect your score by picking up if you can't score. So, once you're out of shots and you can't score, pick up.
Yeah.
Ready
and it's down to your playing partners as well to encourage that.
Yeah.
Because we've all done it. We've all played with people, and you know that you're playing with somebody who can't score, but you see them carry on, and you just you're on 9 or 10 now. Please just pick the ball up. So we've got to try and enforce that with our playing partners.
Yeah, Everybody has a responsibility to make sure that we're playing to
Yeah.
a specific time, and even if the conversation, by the way, might be a bit uncomfortable, but yeah, somebody's got to take the lead.
Yes, definitely.
And make that
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're all able to be responsible for ourselves. So we're all responsible for the time that the group plays, the time yourself plays. So if you can't score, if you know you can't score, pick your ball up and let's go on to the next hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helps everybody.
Any other tips to improve slow play?
Yeah, I mean, it's an emotive subject. Unfortunately, a lot of professionals, if you watch a professional game, they're playing 6-hour rounds, and unfortunately that sort of thing filters down to the amateur game. We don't want to be like the professionals. We want to go out, enjoy ourselves, play a decent amount of golf, not hold anybody else up. We don't need to be like the professionals.
No.
Yeah.
And not come back just, frustrated and
No.
angry and saying, I'm not playing this again because it's too slow and
does
it's a
happen,
5-hour
so,
round
no.
and yeah.
No, we're all meant to be enjoying ourselves, so the way we can make it enjoyable is by
Yeah.
just keeping the flow.
Yeah.
Keep the flow.
Yeah.
Helps your game.
Keep the flow.
Keep the flow. Helps your game.
Keep the flow, guys.
It does. It helps your game.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rob.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks for watching CTV. We hope you found that interesting and maybe take on board some of the issues that we've talked about today. Okay, so if you're watching us on Facebook, then follow and like us. If you're watching on YouTube, then subscribe. And any of the back programmes from Tea Time you can find on YouTube. So just search Campusole TV and Tea Time and pick the programme that you want to watch. Okay, thanks again for watching. Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Hayley.
Okay, so bye for now.
Bye.